This is how it starts. It never begins with something dramatic. No sirens, no hospital beds. It starts quietly. One morning you wake up and your vision takes longer to clear. Later that day, you walk into a room and forget why. That night, you struggle to remember a name you've known for years. And somewhere deep inside, a thought creeps in. Is this how it begins? Let me tell you about Margaret. She's 71, lives in Arizona. 6 months ago, she couldn't remember her own grandchildren's names. Her kids were already discussing assisted living, not because they wanted to, but because they were scared. Today, she manages her own finances, volunteers at church 3 days a week, drives herself to the grocery store. What changed wasn't a prescription drug. It was something far simpler. 4 drinks. That's it. Not supplements, not exotic powders, not expensive programs, just 4 juices, taken at the right times. And before you dismiss that, let me ask you something. How long does it take your eyes to focus when you wake up? Do you forget why you opened the fridge? Does reading small print strain your eyes in minutes? Is night driving harder than it used to be? If even 2 of those sound familiar, this message is for you. Because what you're experiencing isn't normal aging. It's something else. And once you understand it, everything changes. The truth about your eyes and your brain. Most people think eyesight and memory decline separately. They don't. Your retina is literally part of your brain. Connected by over 1 million nerve fibers, your eyes and your mind share the same blood supply, the same oxygen network, the same fragile wiring. When circulation slows, both suffer. When inflammation rises, both decline. When oxidative stress builds, both fade together. That's why memory problems often appear alongside blurry vision. It's not coincidence, it's connection. Here's the part no one explains. Your body does its deepest repair work while you sleep. Between midnight and early morning, your brain flushes out toxins. Your eyes regenerate visual pigments. Damaged neurons attempt to rebuild. But here's the problem. Those repairs require specific nutrients. And over 90% of adults over 65 are deficient in at least one of them. So every night, your body tries to fix itself. And every night, it comes up short. Not because it's broken, because it's starving. This is why decline feels gradual, not sudden. Night after night, incomplete repair accumulates. Until one day you realize you're not as sharp, not as steady, not as independent. And that's when fear sets in. Because in America, we don't just fear death. We fear becoming dependent. We fear losing control. We fear becoming invisible. Why most advice fails after 60. Here's an uncomfortable truth. Most health advice is built for younger bodies. Younger digestion, younger circulation, younger absorption. After 60, everything changes. Your stomach acid weakens. Blood flow slows. Fat-soluble nutrients absorb poorly. Inflammation quietly rises. So eating healthy isn't enough anymore. You need nutrients in forms your body can actually use. And timing matters more than quantity. That's why these 4 juices work. Not because they're magical, but because they target 4 systems aging attacks first: retinal repair, blood flow, brain regeneration, neural signaling. Each juice handles a different problem. Together, they form a strategy. Let's start with the simplest one. Carrot juice, restoring your night vision. Carrot juice doesn't look impressive, but biologically it's powerful. Carrots are loaded with beta-carotene, which your body converts into vitamin A. Vitamin A is essential for your retinal photoreceptors, the cells that allow you to see in low light. When vitamin A runs low, night vision is the first thing to go. Then contrast, then clarity, then dry, strained eyes. But here's what most people don't know. Vitamin A doesn't just protect your eyes, it helps repair them. Every day, light exposure damages retinal cells, screens, sunlight, artificial lighting. Over decades, that damage piles up. Vitamin A neutralizes free radicals and supports regeneration. Carrots also provide lutein and zeaxanthin, two compounds that settle directly in your macula, acting like internal sunglasses against blue light. But here's the critical detail. These nutrients are fat-soluble. No fat, no absorption. That means carrot juice alone is almost useless. Carrot juice paired with healthy fat? That's where the magic happens. Olive oil, eggs, avocado, nuts. This is why some people swear carrot juice changed their vision, and others feel nothing. Same juice, different absorption. Beet juice, turning circulation back on. Now let's talk about blood flow. Your brain uses 20% of your body's oxygen. Your retina contains some of the tiniest blood vessels you have. When circulation slows with age, these tissues starve first. Beets contain natural nitrates that convert into nitric oxide. Nitric oxide signals your blood vessels to relax and widen. More oxygen, more nutrients, better waste removal. What makes beet juice unique is speed. Within 30 minutes, circulation improves. People notice warmer hands, clearer thinking, reduced afternoon fog. Margaret did. Within a week, she could follow conversations again. By week 3, she managed her medications. By week 6, she handled her finances. She told me, "I feel like myself again." That's what oxygen does. It doesn't stimulate, it restores. Blueberry juice, rebuilding memory. For decades, science claimed adult brains couldn't grow new neurons. That was wrong. Your brain can regenerate connections well into your 70s and 80s if you give it the right environment. Blueberries contain anthocyanins, antioxidants that cross the blood-brain barrier. Once inside, they reduce inflammation in the hippocampus, your memory center. They also increase BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor. Think of BDNF as fertilizer for your neurons. Higher BDNF means stronger memory formation, better learning, improved mood. This is why blueberry juice before bed matters. Not for energy, for repair. Taken about 90 minutes before sleep, anthocyanins peak in your bloodstream, just as your brain enters its nightly rebuild cycle. Helen, a 74-year-old former librarian, couldn't finish crossword puzzles anymore. 3 weeks after starting blueberry juice, she completed her first puzzle in months. 8 weeks later, she was reading novels again. She said it felt like someone turned the lights back on inside her mind. Spinach juice, sharpening the signal. Spinach is underestimated. It delivers lutein, zeaxanthin, folate, and vitamin K. These nutrients support visual processing, neurotransmitter production, and myelin, the insulation around your brain cells that allows signals to travel quickly. Low folate is linked to depression, mental fatigue, and cognitive decline. Spinach helps regulate homocysteine, a compound that becomes toxic to neurons when elevated. But moderation matters. Spinach contains oxalates. That's why this juice works best 2 or 3 times a week, not daily. Used strategically, it sharpens focus and visual clarity. Used excessively, it creates imbalance. This isn't about extremes, it's about precision, putting it all together. You don't need all 4 juices every day. That overwhelms most people. What matters is consistency. Morning, carrot juice with fat. Afternoon, beet juice for circulation. Evening, blueberry juice for memory repair. Mid-morning, a few days a week, spinach juice for neural support. Or rotate, pick 2 per day, start with 1. Your body responds to patterns, not perfection. Begin where your symptoms are strongest. Vision? Start with carrots. Brain fog? Start with beets. Memory? Blueberries. Focus? Spinach. Small habits compound. The real message. This video isn't about juice, it's about agency. Aging doesn't automatically steal your clarity. Neglect does. Your brain still adapts, your eyes still repair, your nervous system still responds, but only if you give it what it needs. Start small. Pick one juice. Try it for 3 days. Notice the quiet changes. Because the scariest part of aging isn't wrinkles. It's waking up one day and realizing you've lost pieces of yourself. And the most powerful thing you can do is refuse to let that happen silently. Your body wants to heal. It's waiting for you to give it permission. Final hook outro. Your brain hasn't given up on you. Your eyes haven't quit. They're still listening. The only question is, what will you give them tomorrow morning? Because the path toward decline begins quietly, but so does the path back. And once you understand that, everything changes.